digital age, children are more connected than ever before, to the internet, serving as a valuable tool for learning, entertainment, and communication. However, this increased connectivity also brings significant risks, from cyberbullying to exposure to inappropriate content, making online safety a priority for parents, caregivers. As we delve into this critical topic today, keeping kids safe online, a parent guide, we have with us here Dr. Bisi Isurosho, lead resource, Safe Schools Lagos. You're welcome to the conversation.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, as we begin this conversation, let us understand what online risks is all about. In your experience, what are the most common online threats that children are exposed to?
Thank you very much. When we hear risk and we hear threats, we think that they will come with a red mark, right? That's content online. We peer advice to say, oh, this content is not appropriate, but it doesn't come like that. It's very subtle. And the most common risk onto children are that of predators, those who prey on young children. And they may be sexual predators. They may be people that are looking for children to groom for all sorts of activities, from terrorism to sexual exploitation to religious fanaticism, and so on and so forth. Children have become pawns in the hands of criminals. And they also use children as a front to other heinous crimes. Like they use children to get access maybe to some adults or to some organization or to their school. Even when we look at the issue of insecurity in schools, most of the times the children know about it. Some of the children are their informants, but because they are innocent, they don't know the appropriateness of what they are doing, and as such, sometimes they do things that can put the rest of the pack at risk, or even themselves unknowingly. So basically, because they are minors, we regard children from age 0 to 18 as minors. Why? Because we believe that their intelligence is not formed in a way that they can reason, right? Their back brain is not developed. It's only the frontal brain that's developed. We use the frontal brain to do physical things, and we use the back brain to think. So basically, children don't have the faculty to make informed decisions. And as such, they are open to all sorts of threats. For example, especially children that don't have attention, their parental attention. Parental attention is very key. Every child, what a child needs most is love and affection, attention. We need to give children attention. Those that don't have that, seek it elsewhere. And immediately somebody say, I love you. Oh, Mama Ferro go, like in our Yoruba parlance. And they like you. The children will just feel, oh, they'll feel safe with that person. And especially with the advent of artificial intelligence, it now becomes even worse, because even us as adults, we don't even know whether we're talking to robots or we're talking to real people. And when we say artificial intelligence, it's not vague. It's not like nothing. There are people behind those AI. Yeah. So if we say AI, yes, it may be AI, but somebody is feeding that AI what that AI and how that AI behaves. And those persons are the people that AI is fronting for. So as such, when it comes to children, they are being exploited for sexual activity, for crime. And also, children also get groomed or get inducted into cyber crime, whereby they also start to scam people online, right, in return for affection, in return for money, in return for things that you will not even think about. It may even be for call cards, credit.
Some form of gratification.
Yes, gratification. You know, and these people know, and there are technology that can let all these criminal people track children even more. They can track them. So children are exposed to all sorts, right? And that is in one area. Another area is bullying, cyberbullying. Children are at the risk of being harassed online. Peer-to-peer abuse. Most of the time it's from their friends. Oh, you don't look good. Oh, you're not my friend. Oh, you look ugly. Oh, you don't have the latest gadget. Oh, this and that.
And how many followers do you have?
Exactly. You are not popular. You know, you can't speak English. You're not, you know, you don't know what's up, and so on and so forth. So children have different risk online. We have the exploitation. We have risk of being bullied, and we also have risk of being exposed to inappropriate content. Content that can make them become radicalized. Content that can make them become biased about their own identity, right? Some of them will now start saying, oh, I want to identify as a man.
As a cop.
I want to identify as a cop. I like that, as a train, you know. You know, and it's what you identify as that you are. It doesn't really matter what you're born with, right? So there are so many things. And also religious fanaticism, you know, and there are things that we can do. And that's why we're here.
Okay, I'm glad you said that there are things that we can do. This particular topic has to do with a parental guide. Many parents hear about this parental control, but might not understand, you know, how it works. So I'd like you to share, you know, how this parental control, you know, now works online for children.
Thank you. The most effective parental control is to talk to your child. The most effective is the talk first. Talk to your child and let them know that there are risks inherent in going online, right? And share things with them, but don't scare them. Right?
You know why I'm laughing?
Yes.
I still did that this morning. I said, my children,
They're tired of you.
I'm sure they're tired of me. Because when I see something, I quickly share that, look, this thing is happening, please. Ensure it, even though we're not together in school. So I try to engage them on a daily basis, that they know that I am there, even though I'm not present physically.
Exactly. That's great. Yeah, you're doing the right thing. As a parent, especially as mothers, we have the instincts, right? There are times when your instinct will tell you something. My kids, when they were young, I used to take their phone without them knowing, right? Don't let them know that you're prying on them. They will detest it.
Because I was going to
As a parent, don't be overly concerned about poking your nose into their children.
How do you balance?
You can balance it. I'm telling you,
Thank you.
because
Thank you for asking that,
we now have a different generation.
Okay.
Remember, we were brought up in a generation whereby we don't know what's happening in another country because we're not exposed.
We didn't have all this.
There's no internet.
Yeah.
There's no
gadgets.
cable television. There's no technology. And so as such, it's easier for us to take all the bullshit, excuse my English, that our parents give us. You know, they tell you things that are not right. And those things stay with you for life. You know, and you find it difficult. You have to pinch yourself to say, no, I'm grown up now. I don't need to believe that, you know. But our children know more than we do. So as such, we need to respect them. They need to know that you respect them. You need to treat them like your friend. How do you do that? You share age-appropriate content with them. You sit down with them. You're reading something that you think you can share with them. You share with them, you let them sit down, you let them feel comfortable to see what you're doing, and you laugh over things, right? Laugh over things, even if it's not okay. Don't be overly worked up over things, because that's a red flag. And it is that thing that you are
avoiding
that they will now go and do. So it's very, very important. So the most important thing, like I say, as parent, is talk to your child and start talking to them since when they're young. And when you give them a phone, most of the time we buy the phone for them. So we have the power. Before you hand over the phone, you could have put parental controls. Make sure that you set up their phone to be safe. Make sure that their phone does not connect to internet anyhow. That's number one. They can't connect. You can put controls on the phone that the phone don't connect to unknown network. So when they go around, they are not exposed because they cannot, because other network cannot access their data or their information. That's number one. Then number two, you can now put software that can, because I have friends, unfortunately my children are not young any longer, they're 31 and 27. But I have friends who have young kids and control their children's phone wherever they are, right? There are software now that you can put on the phone before you give it to them. They won't know. That's the best thing. Make sure you're the one buying that phone for them. That's number one. If your child must have a phone or gadget, buy it for them. And you know what? And then number two, those gadgets must not be with them in their room. No privacy.
In isolation.
They can't use it in isolation.
We're talking of this one you just said.
Yeah.
Of course, there's an age range.
Yes.
For them not to have the phone with them.
There's no age range. Don't let us fool ourselves and say there's
a child that is 16, 17.
Let me tell you one thing. A child of 2 has a phone.
You can't have your phone all night.
A child
at 16.
At 16. A child of 2 has a phone. You know, we have what we call self-discipline. That is different. Different level of discipline, different levels of commitment to our children. Some parents use money. They throw money at their children. Throwing money at a child does not mean that you love that child. In fact, you don't love a child that you throw money at, right? Because there are things that you need to do before you start exposing children to material things. Okay, but let's go back to this online thing so that we don't get distracted. Right. Give them a phone. Make sure you're the one buying the phone. Make sure the phone is safe. And fail-proof. Make sure that the child, you can Google. Everything is online now. You can ask chat GPT, or what do they call it? You can go to Google and find out and say parental controls. And you take the one you like. There's one they call Safe Search, right? You can install Safe Search so that when your child is Googling and searching, if that is there, it will sieve away all the content that the child should not come across, right? That's one way. But another way, but the most effective way, because basically the threats to our children, when we have done all the blocking, that is to protect them from the worldwide threats from the internet. But there are threats from their friends.
Yeah.
There are threats from where they go themselves. They use the gadgets. So it depends on what they are looking for in the gadget. And that's the reason why it's very important that they don't use the phone alone. Not in their room. Never in their room. And check their bags. Don't check their bags when they're there. Don't say, I want to check your bag. Because if you let them know you're checking their bag, they won't put what they don't want you to know in their bags. They will still bring those things. They will still do those things. We've been children before, so we know. You know, Agbawabura, if you know what I mean.
We were not as smart as this was.
Oh, no, don't say that. To our parents, we were smarter. If you think we're not as smart, You know, we will always be smarter. Children will always be smarter than their parents. Right? They will always be.
It was difficult with my mom.
It's always a step ahead.
Yeah.
Right? So, discreetly make sure that you are keeping a watch over them. Watch what they watch. Take an interest in what they're interested in. Oh, you're watching this program. Oh, that's great. What's it about? You know, they will talk to you about it. They won't tell you what they think you shouldn't know. But as they're talking to you, you can go and research the program yourself. You can go and research it when they're not looking. And you can talk to other parents. Oh, my son is watching this. Oh, is your son into this? You know, sometimes when we do the parent conference, when I say conference, not the formal conference, but when we meet at the school gates, when we meet in the supermarkets, in the church, anywhere, we talk. Women talk. You know, let's talk about our experience. Let's share our experience. And even if you don't want to say it's your child, you can say, oh, a friend's child, because sometimes you don't want to expose your child like that.
Keep your child
exactly. You know, it is your prerogative, you know, because sometimes sharing things about your children may expose them to more danger, you know. So you do that. And then make sure that when you have computers at home, make sure that you don't encourage laptops. Make sure that they have desktop. Make sure that they have desktop and they use that desktop in an open area, right? And if you give them laptop, it's only for schoolwork and project. And when they want to do it, not in their room. Where,
present with them.
Yeah, don't sit down and do like this, but let them know that just set the ground rules. In this house, all your homework will be done in this area because I don't want your room cluttered or whatever. Because in my house, nobody eats in the room. I don't allow anybody, everybody eats on the table. Why? Because when you eat in the room, that's what makes your clothes smell of food, right? The whole house will smell of food. People will come in, the house will be smelling as if it's a restaurant. You understand? So you have rules and you put that ground rules, just like, I just use that as an example. You know, you don't do your homework, you do it here, right? So that we can time you and we can make sure that you are, you know,
I want to talk about cyberbullying right now. You know, it's becoming a serious issue. So how can parents now identify a child who is being, you know, bullied online?
It's very easy. Number one, if you know your child, you will see the signs. Children becomes withdrawn. You just know that your child is not happy. Your child, a child that is chatty will become withdrawn. A child will become lost, right? She may be eating and she's gone. She won't eat the food. She won't touch the food. She won't eat as much as she does. The appetite will be gone. She won't be interested in talking to you. Her body language, she will be unsettled. She may be fidgeting. You know, when children fidget and they do things like this, it may even be with a pen and pencil, it's because there's something wrong. And you need to find out. Are you okay? Talk to me. I'm your friend. I'm your mom. There's nothing you can tell to me, you know? Because the best thing is for a child to be able to go to an adult they trust. Make sure that your child has a relationship with you or another adult that you trust. Either your sister, your brother, your friend. A child must have an escape route. A child must have somebody they can talk to, or their teacher. Befriend their teacher in school and tell them and let the teacher know. Oh, I noticed Rotimi is being withdrawn. Number one, find out if anything is happening in school. Find out with our friends. Ask the teacher. You won't do that. When you start doing that, you are going beyond your boundaries and your child won't like it. No child likes their parents coming to school and be interrogating their friends. No, that's not the way to do it. If you feel you want to know something, let the teacher help you. And the teacher will know how to do it in such a way that it will not be intrusive. And it will not look like parents say, not that the teacher, some teacher may be foolish and say, oh, your mom told me. That is a red flag. And these are the sort of things that we're doing in all the workshop that we're doing with teachers. We are trying to let them know how to approach this sensitive issue because it's all new, but it's becoming an epidemic now because you can find out that recently 3 Nigerian boys were extradited to the United States because they were defrauding people and then they blackmailed a child and the child killed himself.
Yes.
Right? So God forbid, we don't want that to happen to our children. And let me tell you, a lot of it is happening here. Last year, is it last year or earlier this year, a school called me on the island.
We'll have to go right now.
Okay.
We have a live broadcast.
We have a live broadcast and Mr. Governor is already present there. Thank you very much, Dr. Bisi Isuru-Osho, lead resource, Safe Schools, Lagos, and we've been talking about keeping kids safe online, a parent's guide. This is how far we can go right now. Abimbola.
Oh yes, I'm sure that will bring back.
Yes.
Doctor, we'll have to bring her back.
We have to bring her back because there are a lot of things we talked about.
Yes.
We really need to go. Mr. Governor is waiting at the Blue Roof at the moment, and we'll join our live OB broadcast to bring you that event. It is a state event, and then any moment from now, Mr. Governor will be on your screen. By God's grace, we'll see you again same time, 10 a.m. tomorrow. Many thanks for watching. I am Abimbola Bello.
And I am Adebimpe Omotayo.
I am Joy Olu. Bye for now.
ẹni sùúrù mi ò tí ì sọ́tọ̀ o ẹ sì ní sùúrù o. For them to practice what they have been taught, they've been taught on crops like